everybody. Let's begin. Warrant, summons and summary trials. Under CRPC, criminal trials have been categorized into two types: warrant case and summons case. Warrant case relates to offences punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or for a term exceeding 2 years. 2 years exceeding life imprisonment or death, both are exceeding 2 years, right? So that is known as a warrants case. CRPC provides for two types of procedure for trial of warrant cases by a magistrate. Trial by a magistrate, those instituted upon a on a police report, and those instituted otherwise than on public report, that is upon complaints. Sections you can see from CRPC. Okay, section 2X defines a warrant case as a case relating to an offence punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or for a term exceeding 2 years. So this section 2X, where the definition is given, that also you need to remember. So warrant case is the one which is triable by a magistrate and initiated upon try तो magistrate करेगा, but शुरू किसने किया, first stage कहाँ से हुई, on the basis of police report or otherwise than on police report, which can be on the basis of complaints. In respect of cases instituted on police report, it provides for magistrate to discharge the accused upon consideration of police report and attached documents if there is no legal basis for the case. Means there is no prima facie case made out against him, or on the basis of police report and evidences, it is the court finds out to its satisfaction that इसके खिलाफ केस नहीं बन रहा, कोई लीगल ग्राउंड नहीं है इसको और कस्टडी में रखने का या इसके खिलाफ प्रोसीडिंग्स फर्दर करने का, then he may discharge the accused. In respect of cases instituted otherwise than on police report, magistrate hears the prosecution and takes the evidences. So otherwise than on police report नहीं बनी है और कोई evidence नहीं आया है, ठीक है, so prosecution को hear करके evidence लेंगे. If there is no case, accused is discharged. If accused is not discharged, that means there may be a case against him, prima facie. Magistrate holds regular trial after framing charges etc. तो जैसे होता है वैसे करेंगे, charges frame होंगे और trial शुरू हो जाएगा. In respect of offences punishable with death, life imprisonment or imprisonment for a term exceeding 7 years, trial is conducted in a sessions court because that is the court which is competent to hear such cases. Okay, and sessions court में matter कहाँ से आएगा, either it is committed by the magistrate or forwarded to the court by a magistrate. A summons case. Now before that, what is the difference between committed and forwarded? Committed means magistrate had begun the trial for it at first, but then he found out that one of the offences which is involved, or the main offence which is involved in that case, its penalty is more than his competent jurisdiction. So he transfers the case to a court of competent jurisdiction, that is the sessions court. Okay, and forwarded means either sessions court asks the subordinate court to transfer the case to it, or at first magistrate has not begun the trial and he knows that this is not a case of his competent jurisdiction, so he transfers it immediately. A summons case means a case relating to an offence not being a warrant case. So summons case के बारे में सिर्फ इतना ही दिया है, not being a warrant case. What is a warrant case and a negative of that you have to do to find out what is a summons case. Implying all cases related to offences which have imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. In respect of summon cases, there is no need to frame charges. So this is the basic difference between the two. One difference can be of the offences carrying punishment, okay, and the other difference is that in summons case there is no need to frame charges. Summon mean to call upon. Okay, the court gives substance of the accusation, which is called notice to the accused. Means the court tells that what all content is there against you, what all allegations are put against you, that is known as to call upon the accused, that is notice. when person appears in pursuance of summons. Okay, the court has power to convert summons case into a warrant case if magistrate thinks that it is in the interest of justice. It can be converted into a warrant case, and then all the proceedings will be done as they are done in a warrant case. Summary trial means, summary means what? Something in short. If I give you a long para and I ask you to write a summary of it, what will you do? You will find out all the important statements from that and you will write only those things, and you will say that okay, this is the summary. लिखी होगी कभी ना कभी स्कूल में, right? So summary trial means something which is in short, something which has to be done speedily. When you write summary, you assert important points so that whatever important details are, the person can get hold of it at a shorter period of time, right? So to know the information quickly, you write a summary. Similarly, summary trial is the name given to trials where cases are disposed of speedily and procedure is simplified. Disposal of cases is also done in a shorter period of time and procedure is also simple. In a summary trial, only small offences are tried and complicated cases are reserved for summons और warrant trial. सिर्फ छोटे केसेस जिसमें स्पीडली डिस्पोजल हम कर सकते हैं, जिसमें कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसीजर की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सिंपली और जल्दी से सॉल्व हो सकते हैं, वो हम समरी ट्रायल में लेते हैं. Sections 260 to 265 CRPC deal with the provisions relating to summary hearings. Now, criminal trial will have following stages. Framing of charges. Framing of charges and issuing notice indicates the beginning of trial. I have said many a times, few minutes before even in the last video, that trial begins with the framing of charges. And once the charges are framed, they must be framed against the accused or against the arrested person. So he has to be informed that what all allegations are put against him. Charges means what? Allegations or the provisions or the sections under IPC or any other law for the time being in force when the act was committed, okay, which are as per the case put against him. So those are the grounds of his arrest or the grounds for further proceedings to be done against him, right? So that all has to be told to him. That is known as issuance of notice to the person. Notice means what? To take notice of or to get the knowledge. So here knowledge is regarding the grounds of arrest or the grounds wherein the case has to be taken forward, and either acquittal or conviction will be the final result. That is the result of trial. That is, acquittal or conviction is what? The last judgment of the case, the final judgment of the case. At this stage, judge is required to sift and weigh the evidence for purpose of finding out whether or not a prima facie case against the accused has been made out. If materials placed discloses the commission of an offence, court frames the charge and proceeds with trial. So that all has to be done on the basis of evidences. So you see how crucial is the investigation stage which is to be done by the police. That's why they need time for it. Generally, it is not completed within 24 hours in most of the cases in India. It is not done within that. It may take months even. महीने लग जाते हैं और उसकी परमिशन लेते हैं वो लोग कोर्ट से, मजिस्ट्रेट से. Whenever is the date कि 15 days ओवर हो गए, अब हमें मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने फिर से अक्यूज को प्रोड्यूस करना है. सो दे विल अगेन फाइल दैट इन्वेस्टिगेशन प्रोसेस इज गोइंग ऑन एंड वी वांट सम मोर टाइम विद द अक्यूज्ड, ओके. Or at the same time, accused may file for his bail application if it's a bailable offence, right? So that all goes on simultaneously. It is the court's discretion whether it awards more time to the police and more time for accused to stay in custody or bail to him, okay. So it is on the basis of the materials placed, that is evidence which is collected or the statements, testimony of the witnesses against the accused, that magistrate has to determine whether there is a prima facie case. On the face of it, it looks like that he may have or he has committed those offences and the allegations are looking like they are true against the accused. Then charges are framed and trial has begun. On the other hand, if judge considers that there is no sufficient ground for proceeding, he discharges the accused and records the reasons for doing so. Even if you are proceeding with the trial and you are discharging the accused, for everything reasons have to be recorded. Even for giving the judgment that he gives as per his judicial mind, for that also reasons are to be provided. Again, charge shall be read out and explained to the accused, and accused shall be asked whether he or she pleads guilty of the offence charged with or claims to be tried. That means, as I told you, issuance of notice. That means he has to be told. This read out and explained means notice. उसके notice में ये चीज़ लानी है कि उसके खिलाफ ये allegations लगाए गए हैं, and these all provisions of these laws are into picture. And then he is asked if he pleads guilty, means he accepts that he has committed the offence, he is guilty. और he wants, नहीं आप ट्रायल करो, मैं ट्रायल में प्रूव करूँगा, I want to defend myself. To be tried means I want to defend myself and I have not committed the offence. He still claims that he has not committed the offence. He claims to be tried and he needs to defend himself. ठीक, defend करने का मतलब कि whatever you are saying, I don't agree with that and I will prove my innocence. And ये basically these accused take the benefit of general exceptions in IPC. They try to bring their case into that domain to escape the liability. Recording of prosecution evidence. After the charge is framed, prosecution is asked to examine its witnesses before the court. After framing of charges, trial begins, right? And first thing is to tell the accused these things are played out against you, whether you plead guilty or not. Next, whatever evidences or witnesses are of prosecution, that means prosecution or police, they may rely on somebody, some eyewitness or some people who have seen that incident, or who can give testimony against the accused. So कुछ ना कुछ तो उनको मिला होगा जिस बेसिस पे वो केस लड़ने आए हैं अपना, कुछ तो प्रूफ उन्होंने कलेक्ट किया ही होगा. सो नाउ दे हैव टू प्रोड्यूस दैट बिफोर द कोर्ट. और विटनेसेस की भी टेस्टिमनी कोर्ट के सामने होगी. एक रिटन स्टेटमेंट विटनेसेस की पहले लेकर रखे होंगे, बट देन अगेन दे विल बी टोल्ड टू रिपीट द सेम बिफोर द कोर्ट, बिफोर द मजिस्ट्रेट. Statement of witness is taken under an oath. Under an oath, which is known as examination in chief. Under an oath basically means like आपने फिल्मों में देखा होगा हम गीता की शपथ खाते हैं and all that stuff. Basically it means that to prove that he is saying correct, and if there is a misleading by witness, he may be charged with contempt of court. The accused has a right to cross-examine all the witnesses presented by the prosecution, because accused is defending himself. So after examination in chief, cross-examination follows. Cross-examination means by the other party. Cross means by the other party. Okay, so other party is defendant, that is accused. Section 309 CRPC provides that proceedings shall be held as expeditiously as possible, and in particular, when examination of witnesses has once begun, same shall be continued day to day until all the witnesses in attendance have been examined. Witnesses in attendance means there is a list which is provided to the court and to the defendant that these all are my witnesses, and they will be present in the court as well. So day by day, every day those witnesses will be called upon, they will be examined one by one, and it will be continued till all those witnesses have been examined. And examination, this examination of witnesses include examination in chief and cross examination, and sometimes it can also be re-examination. That is, after the examination by prosecution, there is another examination which is done by the after the examination by defendant, that is cross examination, another examination is done again by the prosecution, which is known as re-examination. So that can also be done, क्योंकि हो सकता है कि क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन इस तरीके से किया गया है कि विटनेस जो है वो थोड़ा लड़खड़ा गया है, वो उनकी बातों में आ गया है, तो उस विटनेस को वापस अपनी तरफ लाने के लिए एंड प्रोसिक्यूशन का जो भी पॉइंट है उसको कन्फर्मली प्रूव करने के लिए दोबारा प्रोसिक्यूशन परमिशन ले सकता है कोर्ट से टू इन्वेस्टिगेट हिज विटनेस अगेन. स्टेटमेंट ऑफ अक्यूज्ड. नाउ वंस प्रोसिक्यूशन के एविडेंस ले लिए, अब हम डिफेंडेंट की भी तो एविडेंस लेंगे ना, तो इसलिए सबसे पहले डिफेंडेंट मीन्स अक्यूज्ड, उसके स्टेटमेंट्स को रिकॉर्ड किया जाएगा. Court has powers to examine accused at any stage of inquiry or trial for the purpose of eliciting any explanation against incriminating circumstances appearing before it. So, आपको फांसी भी लग रही हो तब भी आपसे लास्ट विश पूछी जाती है. So, whatever before giving any decision or commencing anything against the accused, he is asked to produce some statement which he likes to say in his favor. So that is the statement of accused, and that can be done at any stage by the court. Okay, it is mandatory for the court to question accused after examining the evidence of prosecution if it incriminates the accused. Incriminating means something which proves or which goes against a person, ठीक है, which proves the guilt of the person. So if there is any incriminating circumstance that goes against the accused, so उसके बेसिस पर कि देखो ये चीज़ तुम्हारे अगेंस्ट जा रही है and you are saying that you have not committed, so explanation can be demanded for that. Okay, or there can be any question that has to be put up by the court. Also, after the prosecution admits its evidence, so prosecution whatever evidence it produces, that always will go against the accused, right? So that evidence, and after that stage of production of evidence of prosecution, there has to be a question put up by the court to the accused that these are going against you, what are your explanation regarding this, or any other question that it deems fit. This is without oath and before the accused enters a defense. Purpose of this is to give accused a reasonable opportunity to explain the incriminating facts and circumstances of the case before he defends himself, that is before he produces his set of evidences. On the basis of evidence which are produced by the prosecution, question or explanation or reasonable opportunity is given to him that you may defend yourself. आप इसका explanation दो कि ये चीज़ें कैसे आपके खिलाफ जा रही हैं, ठीक है. Defense evidence. After taking evidence of prosecution, examining the accused and hearing prosecution and defense, judge considers that there is no evidence that accused has committed the offense. Judge is required to record the order of acquittal. If there is no evidence against the accused, that means he has not committed the offense, then he has to record acquittal. However, when accused is not acquitted for absence of evidence, a defense must be entered. That means he is not discharged of his liability and he has not to be acquitted. Then he has to enter into a defense, that is defense के evidence produce किए जाने हैं. Accused may produce witnesses. Now he may also have his set of documents as evidence. He may have his set of witnesses as the prosecution was having, who may be willing to depose, means to support the defense. The accused is also a competent witness under the law. That's why his statement is also recorded, right? Because he is also under the category of a witness. Accused may apply for issue of process for compelling attendance of any witness or production of any document or thing. Now why he is compelling? Because it may be possible that witness or that document is in the possession of the prosecution. Okay, so to compel the attendance means to compel the prosecution or that person to come into the court, that can be asked by the accused. If he feels that without that document being produced or without that person being appearing in the court, being present in the court, my case cannot be proved substantially, my innocence cannot be proved, so it is important for them to be present, so that he can ask, that he can seek permission from the court. Witnesses produced are cross-examined by the prosecution. Witnesses produced by prosecution are cross-examined by the other party, that is by the accused or defendant, and vice versa. Accused person is entitled to present evidence in case he or she so desires after recording the statement. So evidence or witness he can produce. Most accused persons do not lead defense witness. One of the major reasons for this is that India follows the common law system where burden of proof is on prosecution. That is, he has to prove that the person has committed the offense, and that too beyond reasonable doubt, as I said in the last video. And the degree of proof required is beyond reasonable doubt. Right? So most accused persons, they do not lead defense evidence, because burden of proof is on the prosecution. They only have to defend themselves. कि नहीं, उनको बस जो prosecution evidence या witness से बातें कह रहा है उसको negate करना है किसी तरीके से. Final arguments. Final stage of the trial. Provisions of CRPC provide that when examination of witnesses for the defense, if any, is complete, prosecutor shall sum up the prosecution and accused is entitled to reply. So final stage means everything is gonna be final. Final examination of the witnesses, final documents which are to be produced. So after the examination of witnesses which are produced or which are brought by the defense, by the defendant, when it is complete, prosecution again has to come up and he sums up all the process. वो अपना case sum up कर देगा, and then accused has to reply. Judgment. After conclusion of arguments, judge pronounces the judgment. If after hearing prosecution and defense, judge considers that there is no evidence to indicate that accused has committed the offense with which he or she is charged, judge can record the order of acquittal. And remember, whatever order is being recorded by the judge, valid reasons for that has to be produced. That means it has to be a reasoned order. Okay, and that is also sometimes known as speaking order, बोलता हुआ order. क्यों बोल रहा है वो? क्योंकि उसमें स्पेसिफिक रीजंस दिए हुए हैं. हर एक स्टेटमेंट ऑफ जज जो वो लिख रहा है, हर एक कंक्लूजन जज जो लिख रहा है, उसका रीज़न उसको लिखना होगा उसी के साथ. ठीक, दैट if I am writing that this person is acquitted because in my opinion this, these evidences are not enough, so maybe benefit of doubt or whatever. If judgment is one of conviction and judge does not proceed to invoke the benevolent provisions of Probation of Offenders Act, and judge shall hear the accused on question of appropriate sentence. Probation of Offenders Act, basically probation means to reduce. So under this act, the penalty or the punishment which are to be awarded to the accused, that can be reduced in certain circumstances. Take. So if he is not proceeding, if the judge is not convinced to invoke the sections of that act, or if he is not proceeding, if he is not ready to probate or to reduce the sentence, then he has to hear the question of the appropriate sentence under IPC, because generally all the offences are defined along with their punishments in IPC. Under CRPC, accused can also be withdrawn from prosecution at any stage of trial with the permission of court. If the accused is allowed to be withdrawn from prosecution, means from the case, prior to framing of charges, it will be considered as a discharge. Discharge means charges हटा दिए गए. Whereas if such withdrawal is allowed after framing of charges, means after framing of charges means charges frame हुए, but then it is found out that there is no enough case or prima facie case against him, so order of acquittal is recorded. That means it is an acquittal. So remember the basic difference between discharge and acquittal. It may be asked as a question, what is the basic difference between discharge and acquittal? So discharge is when the person is withdrawn from the prosecution before framing of charges, and if it is after framing of charges, then it will be called as an acquittal. Okay, then age and criminal liability. 7 years, no criminal liability. These two relevant sections under IPC, find it out. Doli Incapex, Doli Capex. Then 12 to 16 years, child is capable under the Juvenile Justice Act, liable. 16 to 18 years, child is liable under JJ Act, but if crime is committed heinous in nature, then child can be tried as an adult under IPC. 18 years above, criminally liable under IPC or other legislations. Above 18 years is an adult, so obviously, and if it is a heinous offense, maybe of minor age, but then too, according to the discretion of court, he can be treated as an adult. और इसकी भी अलग से proceedings होती हैं कि क्या उसको JJ Act में लाया जाए या नहीं लाया जाए. That means if he is brought under JJ Act, he will be treated as a child or reduced punishment will be given to him. But if you are ready to treat him as an adult, then under IPC and those stringent punishments will be given as an adult, what is as per the offense mentioned. Then doctrine of autrefois acquit and autrefois convict. Please pay attention to the spelling. Autrefois, autrefois. This means previously acquitted or previously convicted. There is also a relevant article of Constitution of India, that is Article 22. According to this doctrine, previously acquitted means a person was tried and acquitted or convicted of an offence before. He cannot be tried again for the same offence, same facts for any other offence. Take like if if there is a case, person A is tried and acquitted for an offence B, say of theft, and facts are that he has broken the locks of a house and whichever precious items were there, he had stolen those. Okay, so these are the facts of the case, and the offence for which he is tried and acquitted or convicted, whatever, that is of theft. 378 IPC, section 378 IPC. Fine. Now, if he is, suppose, acquitted in this case, prosecution cannot see that, oh, he is acquitted. Now, what prosecution does? He files another case against person A for offence of theft again, and he says that earlier this theft was in place X, now he has committed the theft in place Y in the same manner. So what is this? Facts are same, offence and section is same, person is same, right? So this may be that the same offence is tried again against the same person. Had it been another offence, say in place of 378, if it was 379 section, sorry, not 379 but 380 section or 381, offence is changed. Okay, special thefts or theft of graver nature, these are, ठीक है. सो ऑफेंस इज चेंज्ड, तब हम मानते कि हाँ इस ऑफेंस पे ये बंदा ट्राई नहीं किया गया था. बट इफ़ यू आर अप्लाइंग फॉर द सेम ऑफेंस, दैट मीन्स ही वॉज ट्राइड बिफोर. एंड वाई ट्राइड एंड acquitted or convicted? Because trial results in either acquittal or conviction of that person. We have just did that. Trial start होता है चार्ज फ्रेमिंग से, बट एंड होता है जजमेंट में, और उस जजमेंट के अकॉर्डिंग या तो वो बंदा अक्विट हो सकता है या फिर कन्विक्ट किया जा सकता है, राइट? सो दिस डॉक्ट्रीन हैज़ ऑल्सो बीन इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इन आर्टिकल 22 and embodied in section 300 CRPC. So as I told you, there are many provisions of various acts and statutes which are generally read together. One example is here, section 300 CRPC read together with article 22 of Indian Constitution. This could be preliminary plea taken as a bar to criminal trial. Bar means to stop the criminal trial. क्यों? क्योंकि if for the same offence, same facts against the same person, he is tried again, means you are repeating that criminal process which is already done before, you are repeating that. So to avoid that, to stop that process, this plea can be taken. But of course, that has to be proved. Some major instances could be where accused may raise certain preliminary pleas, court does not have jurisdiction or competence to try the accused, or barred by limitation of time prescribed by law. This limitation of time prescribed by law, the law here is the Limitation Act, wherein there are specific duration in years mentioned for various acts, that like if there is a breach of contract, then till what time period you are eligible to file the case. If that period lapses, then you cannot file the case, because it is said one who sleeps over his right, he कैन नॉट एक्सरसाइज द राइट आफ्टर द टाइम. मीन्स अगर आप 3 साल तक आपको फाइल करना था लेकिन आप सोते रहे, अचानक से 4 साल बाद याद आया, अरे उसने तो मुझे धोखा दिया था, उसने मेरा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ब्रीच किया था, चलो अब केस फाइल करें. नहीं, अब नहीं हो सकता, गया आपका टाइम. ठीक है. सो दैट इज बार्ड बाय लिमिटेशन ऑफ टाइम प्रिस्क्राइब्ड बाय लॉ, एंड लॉ इज द लिमिटेशन एक्ट. ओके. एंड preliminary pleas can be raised like court is not of competent jurisdiction, maybe by area or pecuniary limits, like various types of jurisdiction that we did, or competence to try the accused means according to their competence of giving penalties or punishments, right? That table which I told you to draw. Accused and the right against self-incrimination. Self-incrimination means what? To prove something goes against him or to prove himself to be guilty. So self-incrimination means अपने आप खुद ही अपने खिलाफ कोई चीज़ prove करना. ठीक है. So the accused has a right that he may not be compelled to produce anything or to say anything which goes against him. Article 23 Indian Constitution stipulates that no person accused of an offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. However, the following restrictions are placed since any fundamental right, 23 is also a FR, but any fundamental right is not absolute. It is subject to reasonable restrictions, right? So this is also subject to some restrictions, like only such documents or statements are protected as are within the personal knowledge of accused, and thus records that are maintained in fulfillment of a statutory requirement may not be protected. Means which are in the personal knowledge. He has committed the crime. He know that. He very well know that कि उसने crime करके अगर चाकू से मारा था तो वो चाकू कहाँ रखा है. That is in his personal knowledge, right? So that he can not be compelled to disclose, right? तभी तो interrogation होता है, तभी तो interrogation में time लगता है. अगर आसानी से बंदा बोल दे तो फिर क्या ही बात है, right? और कोई भी अपने खिलाफ तो बोलेगा नहीं, बिकॉज उसको पता है मर्डर का क्या है, या तो लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट या फिर जेल में रहना पड़ेगा, और जेल में रहना किसी को पसंद नहीं है, या फिर डेथ पनिशमेंट मिल जाएगी इन रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर केसेस. Records that are maintained for fulfillment of statutory requirement means the statute requires it, like the medical examination has to be conducted, like I gave you the example of rape, जहाँ पर 24 hours में blood semen sample लेना ही लेना है, right? That is the requirement of statute. Statute means CRPC. CRPC is also a statute. Any law, any enactment which is passed by the legislature, by the parliament or state legislature, that is a statute. Okay, so if it is a statutory requirement, that does not fall under the personal knowledge of accused. Okay, even if it may be personal, that means it may belong to his person, his body, but then too it is not in the knowledge of it, right? So that is not under the personal knowledge and they have to be recorded, और उसके लिए वो compel किया जा सकता है. He cannot refuse that, no, I will not go. If he knows that he has committed the rape and he is accused of that, he is arrested and now he is being taken into medical examination, he cannot refuse to go there because statute requires it, law requires it. Handwriting sample, blood, DNA sample are not within the personal knowledge, so accused can be required to give them or to support or to, cooperate into that. Protection in Article 23 protects accused only against being compelled to produce documents. मत बताओ कि वेपन तुमने कहाँ छुपाया है, मत दो कोई डॉक्यूमेंट अपने खिलाफ, लेकिन ये जो ब्लड DNA सैंपल वगैरह है ये आपको तो एग्जामिनेशन करवाना पड़ेगा. सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज़ हेल्ड दैट Search and seizure does not amount to compulsion to produce and is outside the protection of Article 23. Search and seizure means आपने पुलिस ने जो है बॉडी ऑफ अक्यूज सर्च करी और उसमें पॉकेट में से या कहीं से कुछ वेपन मिल गया या कोई डॉक्यूमेंट मिल गया. सो सर्च करके उसने अपनी कंट्रोल में ले लिया. दैट इज सीजर. दे हैव सीज्ड इट. दैट इज नॉट अंडर कंपल्शन. सो दैट इज आउटसाइड द प्रोटेक्शन. Summons under Section 91 CRPC cannot be issued to an accused person. However, a general search warrant under Section 93(1)(c) CRPC is not protected under Article 23 of Indian Constitution. Summon you cannot issue to an accused person. He has to be arrested under a search warrant, under an arrest warrant. ठीक है. Summons witnesses को जाते हैं generally. Okay. Now, function and role of police we will be doing in the next video.